Top story this morning, and it's Australia's biggest ever compulsory motoring recall. More than 2 million car owners will be forced to replace their potentially deadly airbags, which can explode without warning. In a moment, we'll get some advice from Paul Turner from the RACQ. But first to Ashlyn Krukellis, who's across all the details this morning. Ashlyn, a big recall. What cars are we talking about?
Well, Ben, it's cars that have the Takata airbag in them. They're common cars that we see on the road, things like Fords, Holdens and Volkswagens. The exact list of the models and the years will be announced a bit later today, but there are plenty of cars out there, more than 2 million of them on Australian roads right now. Takata airbags are ones that the ACCC have found to have a fault, things that could make them explode without warning, like you said, and said tiny pieces of metal flying into the faces of occupants in the cars. There have been more than 200 serious injuries and more than 20 deaths around the world linked to Takata airbags, with one of those deaths in Australia. The manufacturers of the cars that are involved in this will be forced to replace the airbags free of charge and do it as soon as possible, with 2020 as their deadline to get it done. Ben?
Ashlyn, thank you. Let's go to Paul Turner from the RACQ. Paul, I know this has been going on for some time and now this is a compulsory recall, but it's been a bit slack, isn't it, the way this whole thing's been handled from the industry's point of view?
It's been scandalous, Ben, and it's been an issue that's been going on for more than a decade across the automotive industry. We've seen some manufacturers respond well and do the job and voluntarily call motorists in and replace these airbags, but that's why the ACCC and the government have had to step in, because that's been inconsistent, and other manufacturers have essentially hoped the problem will go away. This is a deadly problem and it needs to be solved.
You've got manufacturers who have allowed their customers to drive around for months or years on end with a potentially fatal fault in the vehicle.
That's right. That's what we're seeing here. Now, whether this ever actually occurs is obviously an issue for each individual car and each individual incident, but we have seen more than 20 deaths worldwide, including one here in Australia. So this is not a small issue, and we're urging motorists to take this seriously. If they are notified by their manufacturer, get this airbag replaced. If they are worried about it, they need to jump on the ACCC product recall website and check whether their car's one of those that has been affected, and if it has been and they're worried, they should reach out to the manufacturer as soon as possible.
So that's how you work out whether you're affected. You go to the website and then if you punch the details in of your vehicle, it'll automatically tell you whether you've got one of these airbags.
That's right. There's a full list on the ACCC site. Now, they're going to announce the compulsory recall today. We believe that'll be focused on some European brands, Volkswagen, Audi and others that they're focusing on today. But the full list is on the ACCC website, and motorists need to take this seriously. The last thing we need is something that was designed for our safety, the airbag, to potentially cause our death because of metal shards being driven out of it under explosive pressure. This is a big issue. It's been rocking the industry for, as I said, about a decade, and it actually has sent the company that made these into voluntary redundancy, voluntary bankruptcy. So it's a big problem for the industry, and we urge motorists to think of their health and do the right thing for themselves.
Good on you, Paul. Same can be said to the industry. They've been slack on this one. Paul Turner from the RACQ. Thanks for your time this morning. Over to you, Georgie.